Hello and welcome to Let's Review. Guys, I'm feeling a bit of nostalgia at the moment, and since I didn't have the opportunity last week to record a Let's Play, I think you can all guess where this is heading. Especially if you actually read the title of the video. Since it's once again time to go digging in the crate. PC gamers can be a little nuts sometimes. I'm certainly not immune to that. But one thing that almost all of us love to do is push our rigs to see just how much they can handle. And every so often, a game comes along that really lets us do that. And in 2007, a real doozy came out. Ladies and gentlemen, Crysis. It really came out in 2007? Yup. Good lord, that must make you feel old. Oh yeah. Crysis was a game that looked absolutely gorgeous when it was released. And in fact, there were a lot of reports at the time that it was impossible to run on max settings without a supercomputer. That wasn't actually true. However, it is true to say that you needed one heck of a beast to run it on full. But even if you only had a mid-range PC, you could get it running perfectly fine, provided you were willing to accept lower graphical settings. And how many actually were? Most of us, we just weren't willing to admit it. Crysis was a graphical benchmark for a damn good reason. It still looks gorgeous today. In fact, there's quite a few AAA releases from 2015 that don't look as good as it did. There's probably quite a few from 2016 as well. As it stands though, if that was all there was to Crysis, it would have been a tech demo and nothing else. Are you saying that it is not a tech demo? It is, but it actually created a damn good game to show off its tech. The story follows a group of US Special Forces, one of whom is British, as they're deployed to the fictional Lingshan Islands to fight North Koreans who are currently attempting to get their hands on mysterious alien artifacts. Needless to say, things do not go particularly well, and the game manages to transition smoothly from feeling like Predator into Apocalypse Now into War of the Worlds. Could that not be considered something of a spoiler? For a 9-year-old game? God, that makes me feel old. Crysis is very enjoyable to play, and largely that's down to the fact that a lot of the maps are huge, and exploring them is actually really fun to do, and that's largely thanks to Crysis's other main addition, the nanosuit, a suit of powered armour that gives you a significant advantage over your enemies. So the American military is using ultra-advanced tech to bitch-slap North Korea. Why is it always North Korea? Because they can't use China, even when that would actually make more sense. The nanosuit allows for 4 different modes: armour, strength, speed, and cloak. And it sounds cliche, but it genuinely does let you play the game the way you want to play it. You can actually get through about the first half of the game or so without killing anyone. And while it gets a little trickier after that, it is still possible to be almost completely non-lethal, avoiding enemies or tranking them out. Of course, all that changes once the aliens come into play. And I'm going to voice an unpopular opinion now. I actually like fighting the aliens in this game. I thought the general consensus was that everyone hates fighting the aliens. Yes, but like all general consensuses, it has outliers. I actually really like fighting the aliens, and the simple reason for that is they're a really good change of pace. By the time you reach the mid-game, you've killed or snuck around literally hundreds of Korean soldiers, and then the aliens turn up, and they're giant squids in mechanised fighting suits using freeze rays to attack you. What the hell is not to love about that? It's completely ridiculous, but in a way that's actually really different, interesting, and kind of fun. And while the levels do get more linear, which, yeah, okay, that was definitely a mistake on their part, that final sequence on the aircraft carrier is spectacular. I had a screenshot of that giant alien walker thing as my background for a long time, and it was gorgeous. Yes, but while they look good, are they not somewhat annoying to fight? A little, at least until you get used to the difference, but honestly, it's a really good shake-up. And the alien's freeze technology allows for a radical change in design on the island, as this tropical island ends up in the middle of a snowstorm. And that's just kind of fascinating to see. Honestly, the only thing about this game I really don't like is its ending. Sequel bait? Massive! And it's never followed up on, not even in the bloody sequel, which goes in a completely different direction that doesn't actually make sense given what we learn in the first game. But honestly, that's a rant for a different video. Crysis itself did get an expansion pack named Warhead, which focused on the British member of the team, Psycho, who's fun to play as, largely because his insult of choice is Muppet. And while it certainly adds a few things, it doesn't really include anything that I would say is massively important. Except for dual-wielding Uzis. Except for that. Crysis is still considered a benchmark game for a damn good reason. It had solid gameplay, a reasonably enjoyable story, and truly spectacular graphics. And ultimately, it's still really fun to play. If you've never had the opportunity, I can recommend you pick it up. It currently goes for about 10 quid on Steam, though given that there is a Steam summer sale coming up, you might want to think about waiting for that, especially since we've all got to brace our wallets for it. Either way, I can strongly recommend Crysis, even if its sequels are not up to much, in my opinion anyway, but I'll talk about them another day. Now, if you'll excuse me, there's a lot of E3 coverage I need to get through and, well, if I'm honest, most likely sleep through. I'll see you later.